Okay, I've had the camera installed for about a week now, maybe a little more. Decided to put it right here in the corner here, this corner post. Like how it looks. It's nice and stealth and small. Looks professional. I tried it in the center up there. That gets the best view, but it's, got annoying for me. It got in the way from my mirror looking back and just seeing that camera. Kind of annoying. So I decided to put it right there. I put it at an angle. Hopefully you can see that. That way it picks up basically everything that's happening here in the rear, since it has a 170 degree lens. I had a couple issues with it. I guess one issue, and it's mostly my fault, but basically it is my fault. In the description it describes what micro SD cards not to use, and it said not to use this one. So this was, I just glazed over it and paid attention, so it's my fault. It says not to use the SanDisk Ultra, and then some Samsung one. So this was just extra one, I just popped it in there, and this worked for a couple days, and then it stopped recording. So I've been recording with the new one for 3 or 4 days. It's been working fine. It's a PNY brand micro SD card. You get the cigarette lighter port. It's a better look at it. It has 2 USBs on it, so that way you have one open spare USB. That's where you would plug it in to your cigarette lighter port, which, as you see, I'm not using. That's just my phone, and I'll show you why in a second. But typically that's where you plug in your dash cam, is your cigarette lighter port. When you have your key on and the accessory, or you have the engine on, that's when it energizes the camera. You take your key out, turn it off, it kills the camera, so on and so forth. This is a different mount, the sticky mount. As you saw, I'm using the suction mount. Warranty card, you gotta register it with them on their website, AUKEY's website, to get that 2-year warranty. Make sure you do that. This is what it looks like here, so it doesn't get in my way, really. Mounted the cord behind this, the paneling a little bit. And I'll show you. And it, as I stated earlier, that comes with the cord management mounts, the sticky mounts around the cord. Back here, have it go down. Has a really nice long cord. Plugs in. I'll show you where it plugs in a second. I kind of have a custom setup. So, like I said, you typically mount, plug it into your USB. I'm not USB, your cigarette lighter port, but I installed, as you can see, kind of dark, but see that's a 3-port cigarette lighter extension adapter thingy. It also has 4 USB ports. 2 of them are 2.4 amp, and the other 2 are 1 amp. And this camera, they say that you could plug it into either, the 2.4 or the 1 amp. It works fine. You don't have to worry about that. The other end on that power cord for that AUKEY camera is just a regular USB cord. So that's one thing I really, like about this one. You can just plug it into any USB without any adapter. As you see that one right there, I know it's dark, but it's plugged into the cigarette lighter port. That one's for my front facing camera. And that, I basically have to plug it into the cigarette lighter port. So it kind of leaves you with less options. So that's why I kind of like the design of the AUKEY. It's a little better. And I have that cord, ran back here and here, and I have it, tied into the same wiring as the cigarette lighter port. I just use those clamp, adapters. I know that it's best to solder it in or whatever, but whatever. I don't want to solder. It was like, really cramped in there. I didn't want to, deal with that. Those, I don't know, I forget what they're called, but you can find them in the automotive section, and you just kind of like stick the wires in, and you could tie in to existing wires with no problem. I think it's going to be fine. Soldering's best, but whatever. Works out fine. I have a front-facing camera, like I said. I have this one for about a year. It's worked out pretty good for the most part. This one captures really good video. This is just a no-name brand. I don't even think they sell it anymore. A built-in GPS and speed sensor on it. Because on the AUKEY camera, you got to buy that separately. Let me show you. You plug it in up here. up on the top. You gotta buy that separately for the AUKEY to put your location on the video as well as your speed if you want to. I mean, you can live without it, but so that's about, I don't know, 20 bucks you need to buy to add that feature on. But like I said, you don't really need that, but if you want to, you could. Probably would work better if you had an insurance claim or something. You could show you weren't speeding and all that stuff, and your location, so no one could dispute that. Yeah, so basically, let me go over this one. This one works out fine, captures good footage day or night. The AUKEY camera, I reviewed some of the footage so far. It's not super fantastic. It's not super terrible either. I didn't really review any nighttime footage so far, but the daytime footage, you know, it's good, but I can't really read people's plates, you know, watching it back on my computer. I guess could be multiple issues for that. You know, for one, you know, I got an 8-foot truck here, and you got the 8-foot bed, and plus the car has to be, I don't know, what, 6-7 feet behind it, so you got, you know, 17 to 20 feet of a car, you know, behind you, probably more. So it's kind of a distance for it to read the plate. Maybe with the video software on my computer, I could zoom in. I could probably read it maybe that way. But the image is just so-so. It's not fantastic. It's not terrible. We're going to review some footage for you later in a different video. We'll go over some of the reasons to have dash cams. It does record. Most dash cams record audio. This one, AUKEY one, does too. The audio it records, you know, it's okay. You got to kind of talk loudly, but the audio is doable. There's a plane passing by. You know, if you ever have to deal with the insurance company, you know, sometimes that could be a pain, and someone, you know, the other person wants to dispute, oh, it wasn't my fault. And, you know, of course, you say it's not my fault, so it takes a while. But if you have the video footage of it, especially with the GPS and everything, and, you know, them on the footage and everything of the accident, it's basically a closed case. So that's one good reason to have it. I mean, that's basically the #1 reason why most people buy them. You know, in Russia, it's for the gypsies that jump in front of the car for the medical insurance money. Those are fun videos to watch. About a year ago, before I had this camera, in my town, in my area, I had a red light camera intersection, and it was a late Sunday night, I don't know, about 10 o'clock. There's no cars on the road. I always hate that, you know, the red light cameras. It makes me nervous, you know, driving through it. I was making a right turn on red. It was a red light. I made sure to stop, you know, the 3 seconds behind the line, blah, blah, blah. You know, do everything by the book. I made my right turn on red. What happened? You know what happened? I got flashed. I was like, crap. And because the tickets, you know, red light camera tickets in my area are about $1,000. So basically will ruin your life for the most part. I didn't sleep good that night, but if I had a camera, you know, if I had the footage, I would be able to sleep a little better that night knowing that I had the evidence, you know, showing I didn't do anything wrong. So I was waiting for about a month, you know, for a possible ticket in the mail. Luckily, I didn't get one because hopefully whoever, you know, whatever stooge was looking at the footage, you know, they record video. They saw I didn't do anything wrong, so that's why I didn't get a ticket. But getting flashed is not a good feeling. So if I had a camera, I would be able to sleep a little better that night. So that's another good reason to have it. I've seen red light cameras flash people, you know, going through green lights multiple times. It's just crazy. I've seen it. And another reason is like the cop interactions. That's always good, you know, to record things. You know, every time you go out, you know, shopping, you never know what you're gonna. Every time you go on the road, you never know what you're gonna see. You know, they're always like crazy stuff. You know, anything could happen. Just a couple weeks ago, I was followed by a cop out of a shopping center, out of the market, you know, driving. I was actually taking my mom shopping. I don't know. It's being racist or something. But he eventually took off because all my stuff is in order. You know, I paid my insurance, my registration, all that stuff. So that motivated me to buy the rear camera too. I always wanted to buy one, so that's kind of put, you know, a little fire underneath my butt. Don't mind the Kleenex, guys. You know, just enjoy wiping, you know what I'm saying? Every man needs to wipe. And another reason is kind of like theft protection. Because how many people, for one, not many people have dash cams, you know, at least in the US here. I have my truck unloaded now, but if they see this camera and they see this sticker, I'll show you a close-up of that sticker. See that, you know, sticker, the cameras, you know, multiple cameras, front and back. Got the sticker. The guy makes these on Amazon. article under 24-hour video surveillance. Installed by Guard Dog Alarm Systems. It's fake, but he makes them. They see that. They see the cameras. You know, multiple cameras. You know, it looks legit. And you can have these recording if you have it connected to a power source. You could plug these into a power, you know, pack, you know, to constantly record. If you think you're in a bad area, you know, if you have a bad feeling, you know, you could start recording. It may help to deter theft, not like it's going to totally prevent it, but if someone sees that, you know, hopefully, hey, who knows, it might have helped you. You know, the guy will walk away. Got so many cameras in here, it's like a bank. Just watch out, guys. So, yeah, multiple good reasons to have a you know, dash cams. I do know they sell the dash cams that have a front and rear camera, but typically the ones that have the rear camera built in, you know, the rear camera is not typically that good. So in my opinion, it's better to have separate cameras. I'll post some footage in another video, some interesting footage, you know, of this camera. It's going to be the rear, so it's going to be going backwards, so you might get sick watching it. Excellent. Anyway, the dash cameras, that's the way to go.
Wow!